Hey all, Cypher, and welcome back to another Outerplane video. Hope your day is going great. Mine was pretty fantastic. Coming to the topic of the video, it's going to be a thorough guide on how to beat Skyward Tower training floor, right? So I know I've progressed to a quite further actually than I used to. So my team is currently quite overpowered to, of course, defeat this boss. I know a lot of players who probably might be stuck on this boss because I would consider this as essentially probably one of the more tougher bosses in Skyward Tower. Of course, compared to something like 460, this is nothing, but that's video for another day. Now, of course, coming to this boss, I really feel there are at least 3 ways to deal with him, especially if you're a new player, right? Only talking about in retrospect of new players. So first is what I use personally is just to get a fade-in, because fade-in is essentially just a hack for this boss. Now the main problem with this boss is his third skill. It's an AoE 100% chance to inflict stun on all of your allies for 2 turns, right? So that's a big problem because that's a 100% chance you cannot resist it, essentially, right? Anyways, you don't even have good stats in early game, so you cannot resist it at all. So the first one is to get Faden because she has a immunity on her third ability. You cannot even you can just probably level her up just to at least to 30 or something, and she just needs to use her third skill just to survive and not get stunned for these 2 turns. Keep in mind, 2 turns is a lot because then he will just cycle into enrage mode and he will just nuke your team. You cannot do shit, right? So there's that. The second option, which is another option, is to use a Siren. So Siren, if you do not know her basic skill, she has a chance to cleanse all debuffs from all allies. I don't think it's all debuffs, it's probably 1 debuff, but you get my point, right? So if you build Siren, and this is something that I used essentially in my first account in the SEA OBT, because it did not have a Faden on that account, but I did have a Siren, right? Siren is the 3-star healer, she's pretty broken. And I built her on a counter-attack set, the one we get completely free to play, just by doing the quests. And I got a lucky counter-attack, and she cleansed all my buffs, and that's all I needed. That's all I needed. Then my team completely wiped the face off him, right? So there's that. And the third part is to brute force your way through it. And keep in mind, this is probably going to be very tough, and I would probably not recommend this way because either you're probably pay to win or something because you might have those gears, but generally free to play, I don't think it's possible to brute force your way through him. I think he gets to the 3rd skill stage pretty fast. So I mean, but there's essentially a way. And another way, which I know a lot of players did use, is to cheese this boss, because if you do not know, he is immune to nothing, right? So you can essentially cheese this boss with someone like Snow with her freeze, right? You can just save her burst, which guarantees the freeze on the enemy, and you can keep freezing him so he cannot get his turns. It's as simple as that, right? So you build up Snow's burst gauge for the first 3 turns, and when he has this skill available, or he's about to go, you just keep using her freeze skill on and on, right? Or at least in rotation. Now, of course, it's gonna take a lot of time commitment and a lot of resource commitment because Snow is somebody you'd probably not use in any part of the game except maybe PvP, and her usage is pretty limited. Honestly, I have not seen much usage of her in other areas of the game, so I would probably not suggest that way. But if that is something that is troubling you, if this boss is something which is essentially the gatekeeping you from progressing, then why not just build a Snow? She's free to play, right? Anyways, I'm gonna showcase what I did. I know this is probably a worthless showcase because my team is super overpowered by now, but still, I would like to do this because I like to do a real demonstration in all of my guides. So starting up, I think everybody's Valentine should be faster, right? Because Valentine has an amazing base speed, and she is also usually built with more speeds for PvP. Now here, I know a lot of players make this mistake of using Noah's 3rd skill, but there is no need to use her 3rd skill first because she will not do extra damage proportional to enemies' max health because she simply has no stacks of this, what's it called? Kaiser energy, right? So you need to first build up this Kaiser energy by using your first skill, right? And her first skill even does more damage comparatively to her third skill. Holy shit, I'm literally nuking this boss. Oh my god. By the way, I did get the Rin skin, man. It looks so damn cool. A bit expensive, honestly. And of course, she does not crit. Of course, when I try to praise Rin, she does not do shit. Holy shit, I'm so tilted. Okay, he's not using the stun thing next. He's gonna use the AoE next. So I'm pretty fine, actually. I can just use basic attacks. This should probably kill him. But yeah, you know, my account is super overpowered for this boss, so it was not really much of a showcase. I really wish I could showcase this when my account was newer, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, hope you guys are able to get some information for this boss. I know it's gonna be pretty tough for a new player, but I know you should make it. I know a lot of people have already made it without needing Feignin. Now me personally, I learned my lesson and I tried to reroll for Feignin as well, because you know, it is what it is. But honestly, best of luck to you all, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.